All right, welcome back, everybody, to Tuxedo T-shirt fantasy draft owner mode connected franchise Buffalo Bills YouTube Madden 25 series. That's right. Every episode that starts, I spit out those same 6 or 7 or 8 pieces of information in whatever order I want, and that was the order I felt like today. All right. So welcome back, everybody. Today is episode number 28. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Today we are coming off our big win at home, 49-21 over our conference rival Kansas City Chiefs. We made them eat dirt and it felt great. Here we go. Let's start today by progressing our players. We are once again at the top of the list. The way that we do this here, in case you're new to the practice and upkeep videos, is we start off at the top of the list at quarterback. In every episode we work our way down. We kind of break up between quarterbacks, running backs, and fullbacks, which we'll do today, followed by the next episode, wide receiver and tight end. Next episode, all of our offensive linemen. Today we're at the top, which means that we start off with Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers, we were saving up for him. I don't think we spent any points on him the last time because, of course, as players get older, their upgrades cost more and more and more. So we'll take a look at what it is we were saving up for. Honestly, nothing really comes to mind. I mean, given that we can't afford to upgrade his throwing power, his throwing accuracy now, I guess we could barely afford to do so, or maybe not at all. We couldn't afford to do so last time. His throw accuracy upgrade, his general throw accuracy upgrade might be a nice one to do. His throw on the run would also be a really nice one to do, given that we do throw with him on the run sometimes. We probably shouldn't do that as much, but we do it. So let's get his medium accuracy upgrade to 90. There that is. Let's get his throwing on the run up to 90, as that is. There we go. That's 90. And then how about just a general throw accuracy upgrade? 4,500 points. That brings Rodgers down to 42, but that makes him a very accurate thrower overall. His overall throwing accuracy is now 91. He's always been more of a power kind of guy, but he's very accurate as well. Definitely one of the best arms in the entire league, so good for him. On with the quarterbacks. Our backup, Jason Campbell, 31 years old. There's always good things we can do for him. He definitely, Jason Campbell's strength is his speed and the power of his throwing. His power, let's just go down and check this out. His throwing power, I must have missed it. Durant. But his speed is 72, not bad. And his throwing power is 90. There you go. But certainly he could use an upgrade as far as accuracy is concerned. We should definitely put some points towards that. And once his accuracy, his throwing on the run as well, let's get that up to about a 78. We can look at maybe bringing up his awareness a bit. So here we are, short accuracy, his deep accuracy. Let's give that maybe 2 because it is lower and less expensive. His medium accuracy is the lowest of all, just 72 in that rating. That's not very good at all. Let's give that one a lot of love. Let's see if we can maybe even get that up to I don't know, maybe a 77. And then we'll give his awareness just a little bit of touch. There we go. So we'll have about 1,100 points to work with here for awareness, so we can give him 1 bump in that. So there. So just a little bit of love for Jason Campbell, our backup QB. And then here we are. Jordan Rodgers, the backup to Aaron Rodgers, third stringer, 25 years old, and little brother of Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not. Yeah, that's right. You heard that here, folks. I didn't know that the first time we played with him in the preseason. Then people in the comments, Jordan Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers' little brother. And then I was like, what? Actually, also something I found out, somebody commented in my video of our last game, our Friday's game, that would have been episode number 25, between the Bills and the Saints. Apparently, Vontae Davis, our star cornerback, is the younger brother of Vernon Davis, who in real life, of course, is the dominant tight end of the San Francisco 49ers. But in our game against the Saints, he was playing for the Saints, Obviously, we are in a fantasy draft scenario where any player can be on any team, And somebody commented that. I had no freaking clue. Again, I had no idea that such a thing was reality. It blew my mind, and it upset me that I was not aware of that. I felt very dumb. So thank you to that person for making me feel dumb, but also enlightening me in the process. I feel good about that. Jordan Rodgers, we're going to mostly focus on his accuracy from here. His power isn't amazing, but it's certainly not bad. It's 82. We just gave one to his play action upgrade, but that's fine. I'm sure that needed to be updated, upgraded as well. His deep accuracy for sure needs love. He's just looking at about a 67 even after this upgrade. And then his throwing accuracy in general needs to be bumped up from 82 to 83. There we go. Throwing on the run, pretty freaking good throwing on the run for Jordan Rodgers. 83. That's much better than virtually every quarterback I've seen in this game, so kudos to him for that. Here we go. We got 10 grand plus to spend on each of our running backs. A lot of these running backs, because they are older, require quite a decent amount of upgrading. Wow, Ronnie Brown only 75 for injury upgrade. We're lucky that he hasn't got hurt more. He's only missed one game so far. Or at least the balance of one game so far. Speed, obviously, these things are very, very expensive upgrades. Catching, because he is a veteran, and those are some of his stronger areas and all that. So maybe we look at just staying on the cheaper side of things, upgrading his stiff arm, maybe getting that up to like a 78. We look at maybe his juking, his trucking ability. Just make Ronnie Brown, who's already a pretty just inherently good running back, and just make him more of a beast to deal with. So his juking abilities there, his stiff arm upgrade. Let's maybe make him like an 82 in that, and then give him some more trucking ability. He's already, I don't know what his rating's at, but he's already had some amazing trucks for us so far this year. Of course, inspiring. I mean, he has at least one episode that's named after him, but he also does have one that's effectively entitled Truck You, in which it featured a game that I think he trucked no fewer than 3 defenders, just absolutely viciously, just got into the open field and just decimated them, which was wonderful. Brandon Jacobs here, meanwhile, his upgrades are all going to be very expensive given his age. I think that we should just, because he carries the ball in such pressure situations sometimes with it being 4th down, I think that we should just give him a huge carrying upgrade there, get that to 89, because he is just a back who's in there for safety purposes. So let's make him less likely to fumble a game away. Ryan Williams, meanwhile, of course, is our young back. Ryan Williams was just drafted in 2011 by the Arizona Cardinals, so still just a youngin'. Let's make sure his awareness is nice and upgraded here. See if we can get it maybe to a 70. I know we've already invested a lot of points in his awareness, but even if it could just be 70, that would make a big difference, and I think his overall play. From there, we can look at his carrying. Let's give him just a couple upgrades there. There's nothing worse than a running back who repeatedly puts the ball on the ground. 84 still isn't dominant, but it's certainly pretty good. Catching out of the backfield is something that's really important. It's very, very, very expensive upgrades for running back, though. That's fine. Juke move, also expensive. Spin move, also expensive. Trucking, also expensive. Jeez, all these are expensive. My goodness. Let's give him just a little bit of love in the where was it now? In the juke department, and we'll leave it there with about 1,200 points remaining for Williams. And then let's move on next to Darren Sproles. With 1,100 points left, he's got the most to play with. And I believe the last time we had Sproles here, it was basically just looking at upgrading his same thing that we just did with Ronnie Brown, was just the variety of things that he could do. Wow, his carrying is 97. Talk about phenomenal. The guy who can really handle the ball well. Agility is so good. Catching is so good. Speed is so good. Injury is so good. There's not really anything to save up for. Let's maybe go with It's enabled to no. We don't want that. Maybe consistency trait. We've already done this once with him, but his consistency just upgraded again from, and let's get it to 3. So make him just a super consistent player. When he gets the ball, he's not going to falter, and he's not going to be inconsistent, I guess. Last upgrade goes to John Kuhn, the fullback. And I know for John Kuhn, what we've done with him in the past is just chucked all of his points at blocking, which I think is the wisest thing to continue doing. His run blocking, let's just get that up as high as possible. 85, we can get it up one more to 86. That'll help us make a difference in the run game. And there we are. We are finished upgrading players, and we are on to what I think might be my personal favorite part of these videos, actually, which is the scouting. If I do have one complaint about the connected franchise version of this game, of this mode, it would be that we do not get enough points to scout people. I really wish that there was more that you could do with this. Just to fill you guys in as well, Speedy Bales and Eric Baldwin are the 2 guys we're looking at potentially choosing between for the first round pick of this upcoming year, going tight end, followed by a defensive tackle. Now, last episode rather, we spent spent a lot of time looking at Jordan Adantor and Alvaro Odigizua. We saved up some points so we could check out the overall grade that Jordan Adantor has, and it's an F. Wow. That is shocking. Jordan Adantor gets a big fat F. We looked at a lot of areas for him. We looked at his speed rating. We were pretty impressed with that. His strength, just okay. Awareness, just okay. Stamina, toughness was fine. Injury was good. I find it fascinating then that he pulls a big fat F. We'll have to save some points for Alvaro Odigizua to check out his overall rating for next week. We will have to just spend some points this week and see what he's got. His in terms of what he can do. His power moves just get a C. His tackling gets a C. His strength gets a B. We won't have enough points for speed this week because we do want to check some more stuff out. Finesse moves, D. Wow, so Odigizua not getting a big block shedding, just a C, so not looking very good at this point. His injury does get an A. His personality gets just a C. Interesting. So his rating is really quite poor. Be nice to check out development for some of these guys because, of course, it's so key to check out how well these guys can actually develop. But that's expensive. So C. So far, Alvaro Odigizua really not looking good. Maybe Otis Stallworth can come in and be the hero. But with Adantor getting an F overall and a lot of Odigizua's particular skills grading out so lowly, even more lowly. He did grade out higher than Adantor in strength. But aside from that, and looking actually worse in a lot of places than Adantor. It'll be interesting to see what Odigizua gets for an overall grade. So we'll have to take a look at that next time we can practice and do all this on Friday. And with that, we will be able to advance week. Now, some people have been asking, and rightfully so, to check out the overall standings. So once we've advanced this week and it's refreshed, and we're on to week 10, we can certainly check out the standings. It wouldn't surprise me if this is our bye week. We still have not had our bye week yet. Our season is more than half completed, and still we've yet to have a bye week, which is surprising. But we will check out the standings to acquiesce to the request of some people who want to see, because obviously we see every week where we stand within our own division, but we don't always see where we stand in terms of the entire league. We did see there that we do have a game this week, so still no bye week for us. And look at that, the AFC East, we have a complete 5 games over anybody else in our division, which is wonderful. AFC East, the Patriots are sitting second with a record of 4-5. And look at that, 9-0 Buffalo Bills. So if we have a 5-point lead right now, or 5-game lead right now, that means we only need to separate ourselves by 2 more games. So if we could win 2 straight games, the Patriots and the Dolphins were to lose 2 straight, we would actually clinch the division for ourselves, which is pretty spectacular. Meanwhile, in the AFC, we have 1.5 games, I guess it would be, or 2.5 games at this point over the Tennessee Titans, who have 6 wins, 1 loss, and a tie. Chargers, Raiders, and Jags, meanwhile, which is funny because in real life the Raiders and the Jaguars especially are awful. They're up there with records of 5-3 in the overall NFL. Meanwhile, the next best teams are the Giants, Lions, and Redskins at 6-2. I'm not sure why the Titans are below those teams with a record of 6-1-1. Maybe it has to do with point differential, but either way, that is how things are sitting. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed for us at this point, but we are sitting nicely, at least in a good position. We're going to be at Pittsburgh this week, it looks like, to play the Steelers. So check that out in Thursday's episode. That's tomorrow. That'll be episode number 29. Meanwhile, look at that. Team success up to 3rd. Ticket sales up to 3rd. Merchandise 7th. Concessions 11th. Obviously, our staff and stadium ratings are not going to improve all this year. So that's what's dragging us down. But look at that. And look at that. Ralph Wilson, $55 million. That's something to really be proud of. We're going to need to save all that money. Next year, we're going to have to spend money on that stadium every single week. I think it's charges of $2.7 million every week. I think that was the deal. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to check that out. Either way, let's go. Let's start practice. Excuse me. We'll talk about practice this week. Let's pick one of these bad boys. We're not doing up by 3. Never again. Or sorry, down by 2. That's the one, not up by 3. Up by 3 is fine. Down by 2 you can't do. That's awful. Let's go tied up. You're tied at the start of the, let me read it first, at the start of the 4th quarter if you're a coach, 2,000 if you, whatever. Yeah, we get it. So let's start off with tied up. Hopefully it's not another one of these situations. I can never remember doing these in the past. I'm sure we've done tied up before, but I can't remember particular ones. Hopefully it's not one of these guys where you show up and you have 0 timeouts and your opponent has like 8 and they start with the ball on your 1-yard line and they get 7 downs and you only get 2 and you're not allowed to throw the ball or run it. You just have to punt every play. Like, let's hope that practice situation isn't so stacked up against us. That would be delightful if that were the case. I'm exaggerating, of course, obviously, but sometimes it feels like that's just how much they like to weight this game against you in practice mode. Okay, so we're tied at 7 here. We are on defense. And, all right, they gave us a timeout. They gave the opponent 3, so that's not fair. But they gave us 1, so that's nice. And it's already 2nd down for the opponents, which is good. 5 minutes left in the game. Bostic's on man coverage with the tight end. The tight end's going to come open here. Bostic, man, it got totally interfered with. They didn't even call it. So that goes for 5 yards. That is one thing that I don't like about this game. One thing, the Madden game that I've played the most in my personal history, anyways, is Madden 07, where if ever a linebacker or defensive back held up a receiver of any kind, and that's going to be a powers forward first, and that's a drag. So 1st down for this nameless, colorless team, which sucks. By the way, if anybody, this is a little contest I want to have. There's no reward. The reward is just, sure. Let's say there's an award. Let's say the reward is if you win and you have the most entertaining response. That's all you have to do to win. But if you have it, then I will mention your username in a video. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Anybody, we'll decide who wins this. This is Wednesday. We'll decide by next week, Tuesday's video. So we'll have 2 videos. I'll mention this and there's Justin Durant with a beautiful pick. Oh, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Bills. That'll make it 14-7 before our offense has even set foot on the field for this game. What a beautiful thing. Greg the leg kicks it through. So here's going to be the contest. I just came up with this idea. So the contest is going to be to name the team that the Bills play in practice, or that anybody playing Madden 25 plays in practice. I'm referring to, of course, this team that's about to receive the ball and just did. All of their players are simply given the names that are positions, so WR for wide receiver and numbers that don't matter and no color of any kind, just white and black. So that's going to be the task. You have to create a name for them. It can be anything, but just leave a comment of what your suggestion's going to be for how I will forever refer to this team, because I refer to them sometimes as like the practice team, or sometimes I refer to them as like, I don't know, the nameless, colorless team, but neither of those are that interesting. So come up with the name for them, and I'm going to mention this in my next several episodes. So the rest of this week's episodes, and then Monday. And Justin Durant with another pick. No way. Right underneath. So Justin Durant, I think, has 2 picks this entire season through 9 games, and now he has 2 in practice. Back-to-back picks. What a practice for Justin Durant. Holy crap. What a way to be, Justin Durant, and beautiful stuff. Anyways, as I was saying, so I will mention this in episodes. This would be episode number 28, so episodes 28 to 31, and then the next video, Tuesday's video of next week, the second one of that week, episode number 32. I will announce the winner. I will use their suggestion for what to call this team that we face in practice all the time, and I will refer to that person's username. I will write it down, and in the video, I will give that person credit. So any of these next 4 videos are up for grabs. So leave a comment today, as long as you're watching this video before, what would that be? That would be Tuesday, November 5th, maybe, would be the day that next week Tuesday's video is going to be released. I think it's the 5th. I could be wrong on that. I'm really not very good with dates, especially because, again, that's still like a long time away. But yeah, if you win the contest, I will say the winner of the contest was so-and-so, and I will say your username, and then I'll say, and their suggestion was this, and I will forever refer to the opposite team that we face in practice as that. All right? So that'll be something to keep you guys interested, having fun with this channel. I still just get nothing but positive feedback from people. I think the only negative comment I've ever received about this channel so far is pertaining to the audio quality of my voice, which, granted, sometimes I think is fine, sometimes I think is not very good, and I am working towards fixing that hopefully soon. I know I can guarantee you that at some point, and by the way, Heath Miller just scored a touchdown. I can guarantee you that over the course of this channel, the audio problems will eventually go away. It's just a matter of getting new hardware or deciding if the current stuff that I have is good enough and I'm just not using it 100% properly. I think it's actually good enough. There's just something wrong with it, which is why I have audio problems. So I get some negative information about that. But the only other thing that I've ever had somebody say is they like the videos. So they actually said something positive. Said, I like the videos, but I think they're too long. You should edit them together nicely and have them be, short, like a lot of other people on YouTube do. And the reality is, I don't watch a lot of other Madden 25 Let's Plays. When I was first deciding to start this channel, I watched a little bit of other Madden 25 stuff just to see what was out there, but I don't know who a lot of the guys are. I know 0 of them personally, and I would say I modeled my channel in no way, shape, or form after any of them. But that's also not to say that I don't that I besmirch any of them. That I decide that my channel is better. I simply do my channel the way that I like to do it. But I would say the reason that I don't edit things together all neat and clean and that is just because I think that for me, nice Jason Worlds with the sack. Man, our defense has been playing well so far. But the reason I don't do it is because for me it's always about the process. To me, what the Let's Plays that I've watched, and I've never watched a Madden Let's Play more than one episode anyways, but the Let's Plays that I have watched for other games, the interesting part is never the finished product of, oh yeah, that's the game. To me, the interesting part is always hearing the stories and hearing and just experiencing the entire journey. It's not just about watching the, if to put it in Madden 25 context, to me, I wouldn't be interested in watching a Let's Play that was just about seeing the 3 sickest catches from a game and then, seeing who actually won or lost. To me, the interesting part is seeing the screw-ups and seeing the mistakes and seeing, what actually happens and seeing how players develop. Like, to me, that's what is interesting, and that is, to me anyways, what I find compelling. So I put my channel out there the way that I did, and so far everybody seems to like it in terms of its style and the humor and whatever else. So I thank you guys for your interest, and I thank you guys for watching. So far, as of the recording of this video, I think I'm at 125 subscribers. My channel's just approaching 6,000 views, which is wonderful. I've still only been on YouTube for what it would be 6 weeks now, like posting actual content. 6 weeks, 6,000 views, 1,000 views a week. That's pretty freaking good as far as I'm concerned. So I thank you guys for that. And again, it's pretty exciting that people seem to like the content so much. Again, I've received really one negative comment about the content, and even then, that person framed it within the context of, "Hey, I do like your videos. Like, I watch them, and I think they are interesting, but I would prefer this." And to them, I just respectfully said, "That's not me." To quote Andy Samberg in Like a Boss, "Nah, that ain't me." Again, not besmirching anybody who does that style of content. It's totally cool and it works for some people. I'm just personally not interested in it for my own purposes. But anyways, wow, we are really taking it to this practice team, and I'm really, really waiting and looking forward to hearing people's suggestions for what I should call them. Get creative with it. That's all I'll tell people, is get creative, be funny, do something interesting with his name, because I am excited to see, to read what people come up with for the next 4 episodes until next Tuesday, when we can pick one and roll with it. That'll be a lot of fun. Deshaun Jackson over the middle. Oh, that was Doug Baldwin. He got demolished. Just absolutely destroyed there. Yikes. Man. I just realized that I really should have taken a quick thumbnail shot of either of Justin Durant's picks. He definitely just... Oh, Heath Miller drops it. He definitely deserved to be the thumbnail for this video. I mean, you get 2 freaking interceptions in one practice session. That's incredible. In the meantime, let's go for it, because why not? It's practice. Practice is about making mistakes and whatever else. We may as well go long. See if we can get a nice... Oh, and there's a touchdown toss to Doug Baldwin. So Doug Baldwin, Doug Baldwin has had touchdown pass. You know, he has had thumbnails before. Let's give him another one. Maybe if we have a nice play by the end, we can give it to somebody else. But it was a nice play. There's no denying that. A very nice play. And no, I like the defender in the background. Let's go with that. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. Doug Baldwin. I think he has 2 thumbnails already in just 28 episodes. And he does have an entire episode named after him, Doug Baldwin for the win. But maybe he can be the thumbnail today. You know, maybe we could call this episode, we could have a picture. The thumbnail picture can be of Doug Baldwin, and the episode could be named in reference to my failure to give Justin Durant credit. It could be like, because there's no thumbnail of Justin Durant. I don't know. We could do something like that. It'd be funny if I could find a witty way to actually phrase that in such a way that didn't make people go, "What the frick is Tuxedo T-shirt doing?" Like, just it's something that doesn't just completely and utterly confuse people would be good. That's generally just a good way to live your life, is to try to not just horrifically and utterly confuse people all the time. But it's also a good way to run a YouTube channel, I think. Keep people in the know. So maybe that'll be the title of it. Maybe the title of this video will be me apologizing to Justin Durant for failing to take a proper thumbnail of either of his very impressive interceptions. Baldwin's, I think that thumbnail will look sweet as it is, but it would be nice to have had a Durant interception, especially for a guy who doesn't get nearly the attention of, you know, a star wide receiver. Not that Baldwin's our biggest star receiver, but he is a star receiver nonetheless. Oh, and there's a sack. You know what? Maybe that will be we've already, if we're not going to be able to give one to Durant, maybe Rob Ninkovich absolutely destroying the quarterback on this play should be the one, huh? I mean, it's not like it would be hard to. Oh, look, where's your hand going, Rob? Come on, get it out of there. You pervert. I'm just joking. Maybe that could be maybe that could be part of the. No, I couldn't name the episode that. That wouldn't be polite. I was thinking the episode could be named Rob Ninkovich touches your Dinkovich. Oh, that would be hilarious. I did think of what would be the perfect name for this episode now. Sorry, we won this practice session so remarkably easily on the success of Justin Durant at the beginning of the episode that I've really given up. Oh, no way! No way! No freaking way! No way! Oh my God! You are shitting me! No freaking way! So we pick two thumbnails because we lament Justin Durant not getting one of his own. And what does he do? He just decides, hey, I'm just going to pick off a third freaking pass today. No freaking way. There it is. That's it. That's the thumbnail. Justin Durant picks off your life. He ruins the life of this quarterback, ends their career in one single practice session. It's a beautiful thing. It's a thing of beauty. It makes me want to cry. It's like the end of Titanic. 3 touchdowns in a practice session? Are you kidding me? This is a practice session represents 1/4 of play. 6 minutes. Or actually 5 minutes within these practice settings, I believe. Jesus. 3 interceptions? And he's not even a cornerback or a safety. He's a freaking linebacker. He doesn't even drop back into pass coverage on every play. It's insanity. Anyways, that's this practice session. That's this episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for a crazy episode number 28. Justin freaking Durant ruins the life of this quarterback. Justin Durant ruins your life and destroys everything in his wake. Unbelievable. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm Tuxedo T-shirt, and I'm out.